This military report is brought to you by Coleman University.
Hundreds of volunteer hours and months of painstaking work all boiled down to this moment of truth for the Maritime Museum's Swift Boat Project. A project the museum and Swift Boat sailors who served in Vietnam has some high hopes for.
Well, new at 6, 10 News military reporter Bob Lawrence with how a piece of San Diego history came back to life.
For the first time since it entered the Marine Group yard in Chula Vista, the 41-year-old Swift boat looks almost as good as it did when it was built in 1968.
This boat was not capable of doing anything 5 months ago.
True enough, this is what it looked like just last month, where volunteers were still hand-scraping the old paint, gauges in the pilot house were non-functioning, and rusted engine parts were everywhere. Now fast forward and there's new paint, new gauges, and new engines.
We're all sentimentally involved in this, and it preserves the history of what we did.
Swift boat sailors patrol the rivers and coastlines in Vietnam. Many who served aboard never made it back home. It's why this project means so much. Once it left San Diego as a training vessel, it served as a patrol boat in Malta, as seen in this picture.
It's probably going to be the only running swift boat in the United States, if not the world.
That's certainly the hope, but first, a moment of truth for the whole project. Get it off the stands and into the water. As the boat slowly inched its way, those who put in so many hours just to get to this point were a bit nervous, to say the least. 3 months of work, and it all comes down to this very moment. Slowly, ever so slowly, it was lowered into the water. After some more work and moving it by hand to another location, another moment of truth. Sounds just like it did in 1968. There's still more to do, but so far, so good. Bob Lawrence, 10 News.
Yep, right back at you. Well, the plan is to finish the work in time for a major Swift Boat reunion. It's right here next month.
Let's take a closer look at where the Swift Boat will go in the San Diego Bay. Now, first it'll leave the Maritime Museum. It'll go under the Coronado Bridge, then it'll pass Naval Base San Diego, make that hairpin turn to the right, past the amphibious base where the boat was stationed in the 60s before it heads right back to the Maritime Museum. That tour lasts about 1 hour.